When is the best time to start something new? I'm going to tell you. And we've got your summer dinner covered.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
It's Friday. We made it to Friday. This short week, I feel held up. It's ended the bargain. This week just flew by for me. How about for you? It's the weekend already? Yes. So exciting. So happy to hear it. It is Friday, May 29th, 2020, day 257 of Gotta Get On Alan. So some friends of mine got together yesterday here in the hood. We got together to deliver an edible arrangement to one of our friends whose husband just had some surgery. So we all gathered up with our mask and delivered it to them. And I heard the words that most women always want to hear. You look like you've lost weight. Oh, do I? Thank you. Yeah. It's nice when people notice, right? I've really kind of stayed the same the last couple of months, but they're probably just noticing from the beginning of the year. I think that the beginning of the year, when I did the no carbs, no sweets, no alcohol for 28 days, really set me up for some success. I didn't lose a ton amount of weight, but I feel like I lost a lot of fat and I toned up a lot. Like it kind of redistributed itself, if you know what I mean. The quarantine has actually been very good for my healthy eating purposes because I talk about this all the time, and I'm sure you're tired of hearing about it, but I will proceed anyway. I try to eat healthy during the week, and then I let a little loose on the weekends. I try not to go crazy, but this is really just a plan to kind of maintain your weight. It's not really losing weight when you're doing that. Not me anyway. And what really messes me up is going off track during the week. Because if I can keep with my schedule Monday through Friday or even Monday through Friday afternoon, because a lot of times we'll get a pizza or something for Friday night dinner, have a couple of adult beverages, because, you know, it's Cocktail Friday and all. If I can do that, then I'm usually okay. But when it starts to kind of leak into the week, a lot of our game nights and our book clubs and what have you are during the week. And there's always a ton of food there. And everybody's drinking. And, you know, it's tough. I'm in so many book clubs. Now, one is in the library. That is not a temptation at all. We do not have food there. We do not drink there. That is a pure, solid, let's talk about books kind of book club. Then I'm in two other book clubs that are really, well, the book, it's kind of a side thing. You know, we talk about the book, but we're really more into the snacks and the drinks and just being together. One of the groups that I'm in, I believe it's game night. We actually make dinner. So, you know, it's tough. It's tough. So that's one of the reasons why I've been able to be successful and stay on track so much, is because I haven't had all of these things to kind of mess me up. Every once in a while, I have the willpower to just say no when I'm at one of the book clubs. But, you know, it's tough. It's hard. I did remember one time at one of the book clubs, I had gone with a friend of mine. We drove together. And I brought my own Diet Coke, and I came into the living room, and I sat down, didn't even go into the dining room, didn't even see what was available, tried not to look at people's plates. And then on the way home, my friend said, "How could you go there and not eat anything?" I said, "Because I didn't go into the room. I didn't even look at it." Didn't give myself the option to lose my willpower, which is very, very difficult to do. But hopefully I can stay on a good track from here on out. hopefully we will start getting back together soon. There's talk of a book club next week in somebody's yard outside. And that's what we did yesterday is we sat out in my friend's yard out back, which she has an amazing yard. I've been to her house before, but never out in the back. Wow. Man, Joe and I are slacking. One of the things that's so great about her house is, a lot of the houses around the shore up really high on pilings, because it's a flood area. So we are up on 4-foot pilings. The house was built that way. So we won't likely ever raise the house anymore because it's really out of the flood zone. Even when we had the big superstorm Sandy, from what I was told, there was no interior damage to our house whatsoever. However, the houses on either side of us got completely wiped out. So, with that said, people are raising their house high enough where you can actually park a car under it and hang out under it. So they had cool little bar areas and little tables and just a really cool backyard. I'd love to hang out there some more. So, Laura, if you're listening, invite Joe and I over. We would love to come. I wanted to mention my new Ring camera. We've had it for about a month now. And I don't know who else has a Ring. But the motion alert that you get on your phone, the little bling, bling, it always reminds me of the song, It's a Beautiful Morning. It's like the first couple of instrumental notes on It's a Beautiful Morning because it's like this little bling bling and I'm like every time I go it's a beautiful morning. I don't know if you can change it, and it's not that I dislike it, but it gets that song stuck in my head constantly. Now we have just turned the motion alerts off from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. so that we're getting them mostly overnight. So I don't hear it as often as I did at first, but it's pretty funny to me. And I was just wondering if anybody else got that song stuck in their head when they hear that alert go off. I think it's pretty funny. Saw something pretty interesting in the news today I wanted to share with you. Some things that are likely to go away forever now that the pandemic has hit and the changes that we need to make moving forward. So this is 20 things that could become obsolete after the pandemic. One of them being handshakes. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. It's just such a tradition, and I don't know. I do see people bumping elbows now, but I can't see businessmen walking into a conference room bumping elbows. It seems kind of odd to me, but we'll see what happens. They're saying that the FDA is recommending that buffets and salad bars be discontinued while the threat is still high and it's unclear when they will return. Free samples at stores like Costco and BJ's have been banned. Now, I did just see on the news this morning that Costco is trying to figure out a way to bring them back. It's going to be very difficult with people trying to stay a good distance apart. Not to mention people will have their masks on, which makes sampling a little bit more difficult. Touch screens in public can be a hotbed for bacteria. And I'm thinking, this is a new technology, so I'm not sure I could maybe just even you just put a covering on it, it's the same thing. It's funny, many states, including our personal town, have banned reusable grocery bags at the stores. No, I'm sorry. They banned one-use grocery bags at the stores, and we had to start bringing our own reusable bags. And the minute the pandemic hit, that all went out the window. And I'm assuming that they're going to try and bring it back after the pandemic's over. I don't know. I was always against the bag ban. I reuse my bags. I properly dispose of my bags. I know others don't. Others don't do a lot of things properly. And I just feel like I'm being punished for the sins of others. Let's put it that way. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I just feel that it's the least they can do is give me something to carry my purchases in. Is it a big deal to bring in my own bag? At this point, it's not that big of a deal. Sometimes I do forget, and then I'm forced to purchase a bag, which really annoys me to death. But now we've all gotten out of the habit again. So it's going to take us another month or two to get used to bringing our bags back in if they are once again banned, the one-use plastic bags. So we'll see how that goes. We will see. They're saying that sharing food and drinks will probably become obsolete. I don't know. I only ever share food and drinks with my husband. Like they're showing a picture of sharing a dessert. Now, maybe bowls of chips and stuff I can see, but again, how? How can you have a party without a bowl of chips out? They're saying that high fives could also become obsolete because they, much like handshakes, spread bacteria. Long lines in which many people crowd together while waiting aren't likely to come back anytime soon because now we have the 6-foot markers. That's going to make lines really, really long. They're saying, and I don't agree with this one, that people will not tap your glasses to say cheers anymore. I don't fear that. It's one of my favorite things to do is to have a little toast. Toll booths nationwide have banned cash and opted for touch-free electronic payments. That, they say, is probably going to continue. What else? Crowded concerts, mosh pits. They may not come back. Open floor offices in which workers sit in close proximity to one another. They're saying that the key chain store club tabs, like your little ShopRite card. I have one for the library. They are often scanned by store personnel. It's another potential way to spread disease. Hugging could be a thing of the past. The TSA has advised that travelers no longer put their phones, wallets, and keys in bins, and the change might be permanent. I'm not sure how they're working that at the airport if you're not putting it in a bin because they still got to go through, right? Phone booths, which are pretty much obsolete anyway. Water fountains, they're saying it's much more likely to be a cashless society moving forward. That way you don't have to touch. And money's always been dirty, honestly. And the CDC recommends that doctors switch to telemedicine for routine and elective visits to preserve personal protection. There's one here that they did not mention, and this honestly has always grossed me out. I'm going to tell you what it is. Always grossed me out. Blowing out birthday candles. I've always thought that was gross. Somebody's blowing their breath all over the whole entire cake. That's always been a thing with me. Not that I haven't done it. Not that I haven't eaten the cake. I have. But, it's kind of the same thing when you're, using dip at a party. You're positive somebody's double dipped, but you want the dip, so you're gonna chance it. I don't know. So there are some of the things that may be going away forever. For the topic, I wanted to hear, what is an easy summer dinner you make often? We are a burger and dog household. That is our go-to, and that's mostly because of me. I love cheeseburgers, and I love hot dogs. So that is like our summer mainstay throughout the entire season. But I wanted to hear from you. What is something that you make often that's simple? And hopefully you can get some ideas. Andy says Jersey tomatoes, mayo, cheese, variations, add bread, bacon, onion, ham, and or melted cheese. It's just delicious. My mom used to love tomato sandwiches with mayo. I'm not a big fan of mayo. I'll eat it in like tuna and potato salad and that kind of stuff, but I don't like it on a sandwich or a burger. But my mom used to love those tomato sandwiches. Vanessa says pizza on the grill. We use naan bread for the crust. Throw all kinds of cheese and veggies. So good and so simple. She also suggested tuna stuffed tomato. Tonight was another favorite, grilled flatbreads. Marcy says chicken Caesar salad. Just grill some chicken breast and chop some lettuce. I eat salad. I eat salad every day for lunch, and I do use a head of romaine. So I am very... I know how to cut me a salad, that is for sure. Corinne says puffy fish, a recipe for flounder that I found online. Denise says reservations. Yeah, we'll see about that this year, right? Joe says wings on the Rec Tech. Ashley says pretty much my perfect dinner if if I'm on the healthy part of my week. Corn on the cob, fresh